which not only people die, but also the monsters themselves. And did they die at all? Thanks to the company founded by Elliot Ludwig, we fit into a very strange story. The monsters rebelled, killed all the employees of the company. Then the monsters began to fight against the monsters. Allegedly good and allegedly evil appeared. And here, as expected, we find ourselves in Smiling Creatures, where it is not entirely clear who is who, but the Code of Dreams is definitely evil. Dog Day seems to be kind, but his body was captured by smiling assholes, which was devoured from the inside. And in general, these are the only two characters that we know about. We saw them in the game itself. Well, where did the rest go? Because according to Dog Day's stories, they were. That's what the dying Dog Day told us, calling himself the last smiling one. But is this really the case? After all, we also have Catnap. Why didn't he designate him as one of the last? Maybe Catnap was the only crazy evil monster, and the rest of the smiling animals were somehow not influenced by evil. Even their small copies cannot be called full-fledged evil. The cat intimidated them with death or starvation. In the end, the little animals became so furious that they began to eat everyone in a row. Yes, it turns out that the third chapter left us a lot of questions. Dog Day. For some reason, many people still do not know about what happened to him. Strangely enough, he died. It remains a mystery to me at all. How did he survive and endure until our arrival? In the end, small smiling creatures appear out of nowhere and devour. Then they take over his body. And we can say that we are being chased by several smiling creatures in the shell of a huge dog. Perhaps they are eating this shell to the end. But I want to draw your attention to something. We saw with our own eyes what happened to Dog Day. And what if you find out what happened to the smiling steel creatures? You can use cardboard boxes. Maybe it's not just like that, and the developers left their votes. Of course, it does not thoroughly explain to us what could have happened to them. But nevertheless, there are some terrible hints of terrible events. In the cartoon, we'll also probably have a reference to how they all died. This is evidenced by the location of Dog Day. Look, it lies exactly the same as it hangs in the game itself. And this is a pretty interesting reference. But what about the steel ones? Let's say, with an elephant. Bubba Bubbafant, our elephant. Bubba Bubbafant or Buba the elephant appears only as references or an animated little toy. In the cartoon, Buba is located at the very bottom. But it doesn't mean anything to us yet. As well as the location of other smiling animals. Only Dog Day has a link. Let's hear what he says.
I'm Bubba Bubbafant. Hey, I remember you. An elephant always remembers. Want to know what I remember about you?
The scream at the end may indicate that Bubba Bubbafant is most likely dead, maybe from the paws of Catnap, and his standard phrases are likely to refer to the fact that elephants have a very good memory. And the last thing our elephant remembers is his death cry. Kickin' Chicken. And what happened to him? We don't see his big version anywhere. So the only reasonable conclusion we can draw is that the chicken died. So what can his cardboard version tell us?
Hey, I'm Kickin' Chicken! Wanna go outside and hang out? It's looking pretty rad outside! I've never been outside before. Will you come with me? I'm scared. Here, follow me. I'll step out first.
And this is more interesting. It seemed to me, or we were told the approximate location of the death of Kickin' Chicken. Apparently, he went beyond his native location. That is, outside. Perhaps at that moment Catnap took it as a betrayal that the chicken wanted to escape. I wouldn't be surprised if I really wanted to do that. After all, what happened in The Poet, After Hours of Joy, is utter madness. And maybe the chain was most likely one of those who did not want to support the prototype. He tried to go outside the location, not necessarily directly onto the street itself. He could have just left Playcare. But death overtook him? I warn you again, these are just my assumptions. We don't have any exact information about the mistakes made with other smiling creatures. The developers can force us to figure out what happened to them. There are quite interesting cases among these. For example, a pig. Spoiler alert, Picky Piggy doesn't yell at the end of her voice recording as if she's being cut. She even says some pretty creepy things, like how delicious her friends are.
Hi there, I'm Picky Piggy. Let's eat. Roast beef? Delicious. Grilled chicken? Down the hatch. Seared elephant? Yum! Played unicorn? Still hungry. Hey, what do you say you and I be friends?
You know, I don't feel like it anymore. Damn, she's seriously talking about wanting to eat her friends. Maybe that's what she did. Some of the smiling animals are not mentioned here. A chop, of course, is a meat dish that can be made from any meat. But here's the grilled chicken. Everything is clear here. Who is this allusion to? I'm not talking about a baked elephant and a skinned unicorn. And then the question arises, was Picky Piggy by any chance on the side of our crazy cat? After all, he does not necessarily kill those who are categorically against the prototype. Maybe Picky Piggy is guilty of something? Wasn't she too loyal? Didn't she worship the prototype too well? Catnap could take this as an insult. Anything could have happened to her. But the mention of individual smiling animals, like some kind of dish, is already alarming. Did she kill them and eat them? Maybe the cat also intimidated her, like the small smiling creatures. Fed her his own guys. Interestingly, there was such a scene of eating your own friends according to the plan. For some reason, a fried rabbit is not mentioned among the pig's dishes. For example, it could be Hoppy Hopscotch. What happened to her? No hint that she was eaten by a pig or anyone else. But at the end of her voice message, we hear her scream.
I'm Hoppy Hopscotch. Wanna try hopping to the moon with me? On three with me. 1, 2, 3! Heh, didn't get very far, did we? Again! 1, 2, 3! Nope, still didn't make it. Listen, this won't stop until we make it to the moon. 1, 2... No, don't look at your feet! None of that matters! Again! Jump!
Hoppy Hopscotch could mind her own business. I mean, she was just jumping. Perhaps Hoppy was trying to avoid her fate. Note that we come across cardboard boxes of smiling animals in turn. Then Hoppy Hopscotch wanted to use her ability to escape from Playcare. But as we can see, she did not succeed. The next in line is a bear or Bobby Bear hug. By the way, she, too, like Piggy, does not scream at the end of her voice message. However, she does not say any creepy oddities that she allegedly wants to eat someone there, or hug them so much as to strangle them. No, Mishka is asking for help. It's like her spirit is still talking to us. Perhaps the hugger hoped to the last that someone would save her. She found out about the death of her relatives, and she hid. And that's why she's asking us to take her away from this creepy place.
Hi, I'm Bobby Bear Hug. Wanna know how much I love you? I love you to the moon and back. I'm crazy about you. I'm lost without you. I've been lost a long time. Please, take me with you this time. You won't leave me, will you?
It's a pathetic sight. What is most interesting, it is after this cardboard box that we come across a dog. Does this mean that the next character has survived? After all, if we draw such a logic that every cardboard animal that comes across is characters who died one by one in turn, then we should have had a unicorn survive, because we have already seen a live dog day. But the logic doesn't fit a bit, because in the beginning, we met a cardboard cat. He doesn't say anything, he just purrs and rattles. And yet we have something with a unicorn? Well,
Hi, I'm Crafty Corn. Can you help me with my painting? Pass me the blue, please. Thanks. Now, can you give me some red? More red, please. Out? But we can't be out. You're hiding more red from me. I know you are. Give it here! Now that's much better.
well, Capits. Her campaign was also accepted by heaven. It's quite interesting that Craftycorn says we can't go outside. At the very least, this may confirm my previous reasoning. Some of the smiling creatures wanted to escape and tried to do so, but they were caught and punished for it with death. Therefore, The intimidated Craftycorn says that we cannot go outside. Perhaps she was doing her favorite thing at that moment. I was drawing. Here we are talking about the painting and the colors. The cartoon screensaver also clearly shows that the unicorn likes to draw. And, apparently, she had a conversation with someone. I suspect that with a doggy. At that moment, the cat could hear their conversation, and then get rid of both the unicorn and Dog Day. And, perhaps, at the location where we were and met Dog Day, Craftycorn was dying somewhere behind the wall. Or maybe it was eaten much earlier. And these were the last smiling animals that Catnap destroyed. Well, what do you think happened to them? Write your reasoning, your thoughts and theories in the comments.